I fell in love with glass when I was 19 years old. At the beach near here, full moon sky, someone brought a glass furnace and showed up, and I was mesmerized. I was hooked. I wanted in, watching the hot glass, watching the blowpipe, moving through the night sky with that orange orb on the end, constantly having to keep it moving and on center. I was hooked. It was as if I'd kind of stumbled upon some kind of ancient ritual. And I was like, yeah, I want in. And it was thrilling and mesmerizing and fun all at the same time. This is my cheat sheet. We won't say where, but it's all rubbed off because I was clapping so hard for Gina. It says hangover here, no. And I realized that maybe I could do it too, because it combined two things. It was the physical as well as the conceptual. The physical was moving, like you see here, moving around, keeping that hot orange orb on center. And then the conceptual was taking a concept and just forcing your idea into this hot glass and getting it, the finished thing that you wanted without ever touching it with your hands. And that was just, that was just, for me, the end all, the be all. It was fantastic. But part of it is kind of like a hangover because I really have learned the idiosyncrasies of glassmaking. It'll break on me just when I think I know what I'm doing. It's such a challenge. And that's why I love it. If it was easy, I would have abandoned it years ago. But that's why I love it. And it's hard enough that just when I think I know what I'm doing, it humbles me. And everybody needs to be humbled, I think, on a regular basis, especially if you work in glass. But what I was saying was, I'd have a great idea, and I'd make something, and I'd go into the oven the next day after it cooled down and pull it out, and it really was like a bad hangover. I was like, what is that piece of crap in there? This is supposed to be, oh my God, this could have been the most beautiful thing I ever made in my whole life, and look at that. So after learning, the hard way, when I was a student, there weren't books and there wasn't the internet. And the way that I learned and the way that I built my business was by taking careful notes of all my experiments, and those became my textbooks. And when I really got stuck, I could go ask a fellow artist or my teacher. And there, it was a very small community. We had to engage with one another. And pretty soon, I began to hire people who loved glass almost as much as I did. And together, we became this really great team of risk-taking problem solvers. And sometimes we work with each other, and sometimes we work against each other, and we challenge the things we've done. It's not good enough just because we did it before. And all of that you see here, this is all window glass, so it's not. It's everything you could possibly do with a piece of window glass. I think we're getting close, and we do. And two pieces even wound up in the Smithsonian, and I thought that was a joke. I have 3 older brothers, and they always like to play practical jokes on me, so I didn't believe it. But glassmaking has been like a drug to me. I get lost in it. I don't know. I forget time. I forget place. I'm struggling to follow that maze it's leading me down as I'm trying to make it do what I want. And the thrill of yes, it worked. It worked. It really worked. And then, the agony of defeat, just like the Sports Illustrated, the agony of defeat, but also that knowing when you're bested, but to keep trying. And that's the thing. Because it's so beautiful, I love it so much, I'm willing to keep trying. And I think that's what keeps me here. That's why my company is in Santa Cruz. When I started out, it became pretty obvious pretty quickly with who I was selling to that I had to make a choice with my company, whether I should take it offshore and change the business model, be on more of a level playing field with all the big boys, with all the multinational corporations that I was competing against. And that sort of thing was a really tough decision to make. And what happened was I chose not to. And I chose not to because it was against everything. Moving the company offshore and just having a big manufacturing factory would ruin my creative process. I wouldn't be able to go out like I can now in California, here in California, go to the beach, get a great big starfish, bring it back to work and go, look at this, we're gonna make something out of this. We're gonna make something, this is so inspiring, let's do this. And California is not the friendliest state in the nation for business. It's one of the most expensive, it's one of the most difficult, but I love it. It inspires me, and that's why I'm sticking here. I'm staying put. And so is my... Thank you. And so is my staff. And what the part that's all wiped off here was the part that I wanted to stay small, but great. I wanted creativity to be the center of what I am doing. And that there's a price for that. There's definitely a price for that. But it's not the kind of price you think. I never understand all these entrepreneurs or Silicon Valley types who it's all about the IPO, it's all about the startup, it's all about selling out, it's all about going on to the next thing. And then you hear them. I was really stunned the last time I went to one of their talks. And all they're talking about, when it was, when I was little, when it was small, and we could do what we wanted, so I'm going to go out. I don't like the company I sold it to, and I'm going to go out and start another one. And I'm going to try to get back what I had in that first company, like running out and getting the starfish and bringing it to work. And it doesn't make any sense to me because you can't get that creativity back sometimes. What a gamble, what a choice. To me, it's not a choice. And I've been very lucky to be able to build this small company, the small national American brand throughout the United States and some of the finest stores in the world, because I've come from a long tradition of American glass artists and American craftsmen, where we take a medium and learn to become expert at it. And by becoming expert at it, we are able to interpret it into beauty and form. And that's just something that I'm not willing to give up. And neither are the wonderful people that work with me. Thanks. I haven't been doing this. Oh man, that's my new stuff. There. Go. Done. Be.